The reason so many people are struggling with mental health is because there is no better future for them. The only way to earn billions is to give trillions in value. Here's your purpose as a human being: to grow, to reach your full potential, and in the process, help and give as much as you can to everyone around you to make their journey just as good. All you need for your long-term goal is a why and a vision. I hear this all the time. People going, I just don't want to get disappointed again. What's more disappointing? Knowing that you'll always be out of shape, or giving it a shot and failing and going again? This is a quote by Joe Dispenza, okay? And if you don't know who Joe Dispenza is, this gentleman is a neuroscientist. He's next level. If you haven't watched his content, you gotta get on it. But I'm telling you, this guy explains the law of attraction in such a scientific way. I don't care how analytical you are, you will understand it and you will be able to apply it. But he says something. He says that memory is the past. Imagination is the future. If you're using the circuits in your brain that are connected to the past, you're going to create the same future. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. Have you noticed how there's a lot of people out there who seem to repeat the same year after year after year, even though their age is getting older and the year is changing? Have you noticed that? Yes. Have you seen people that go from one bad relationship to another bad relationship and they seem to keep having the same problems?
Yes. Yes.
Remember this for the rest of your life. Wherever you go, there you are. I know people that move countries and their problems move with them. I know people that move jobs and their problems move with them. I know people that change, because until you change you, you will not be able to change your life circumstances. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the only way to change your life circumstances is to change yourself internally. But the only way you can change yourself internally is to stop basing your decisions, your emotions, and your behaviors on your memory and start to base it on your imagination. Is that clear?
Yes.
See, most people look at something and they immediately go to their memory. Oh, before I did this thing and I didn't become successful and it was really hard and I felt bad. Oh, I don't want this to be the case again, so I'm not gonna do it. Is that memory or imagination?
Memory.
When I came back in WFG in 2018 to start from zero, was I operating on memory or imagination? If I was gonna operate on memory, it's not such a good one, because for 2 years I worked my butt off, I gave this thing everything I had, and all it gave me was pain. And a lot of good lessons and good skill sets, but I didn't realize that at that time. So if I was going based on memory, I'd be like, man, I don't wanna have that experience again. I don't wanna go through that again. Screw it, I'm just gonna be an employee. But I used my imagination, and I imagined what I could learn if I worked with someone like Dave. I imagined what I could achieve if I had a better system and better leadership. And by having that imagination kick in, I was able to make a new decision, not an old decision. And when you make new decisions, you give yourself a chance to have new results. But if you are using your imagination, you are making new circuits in your brain. You are rewiring your brain to a new future. Programming is everything. Our life is a consequence of the programming and the wiring that's been happening all these years. Here's what Joe Dispenza says. He says, in order to change, you need to make a conscious decision to choose a new thought, a new self-talk, and make a new decision. How many of you for years struggled with a certain habit, and then you were able to one day finally overcome it and get that habit as part of your life? It could be fitness, it could be maybe overcoming an addiction. How many of you have had that experience before? What happened? At some point you got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you made a conscious decision to choose a new thought. So in that moment when you didn't feel like going to the gym, you said, it's okay that I don't feel like it, I'm gonna go anyways. That's a new thought. You also accompany that with a new self-talk. I'm not gonna make the same mistakes I made in the past. This time, I'm gonna go to the gym. And then you made a new decision, which was to go to the gym. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then as you did that over and over and over and over and over again, you created a new habit for yourself because you changed the wiring system of your mind. That's how change happens. Is that clear with all of you?
Yes.
And if you don't change, your life won't change. That's why this is so important. Here's what memory is. Memory represents the past. Memory involves recalling the past experience and events. It is tied to established neural pathways and reinforces existing patterns of thought and behavior. If you keep repeating the same thought and the same behavior, you're gonna keep repeating the same results. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. How many of you have pets, either dogs or cats? Have you noticed the pattern your dog and cats have? They seem to bark at the same things. They seem to smell themselves the same way. They seem to, yes or no? But humans, although are way more complicated because we're way more intelligent, we also run patterns. Just because we're more complicated, the patterns are a little bit harder to notice. But once you start to understand people, you see the patterns that they keep running. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Here's what memory also is. It's habitual thinking. Relying on memory can lead to repetitive thinking and behavior patterns, limiting personal growth and change. Have you met those people who've had a few bad relationships and they got their heart broken? Yes. Okay. What do they start saying? There is no good men in Vancouver. There is no good woman in Vancouver. There's no one, yes or no, there's no one here for me. Yes. And then they go to Miami, then they realize there's no one there. Then they go to Turkey, then they realize there's no one there. Then they go to Japan. Eventually, you know where they're gonna end up? Mars. And by the way, that's where they'll find happiness because there is no men and women there, so they'll finally get to their achievement. But with that thought, let me ask you a question. With that thought, are you open-minded to meeting new people and getting to know them or closed-minded? Closed-minded. Are you more likely to do behaviors that close you off and protect you or open you up and allow you to actually get to know someone at a deeper level? Okay. If you're closed off and you're worried about getting hurt and you don't let the other person in, can you ever actually form a new relationship? No. So then that person, every time they go into a relationship, even if they meet the perfect person, they're going into it with the same habitual thinking and behavior, so they start sabotaging it. And you know what it does to sabotage? It allows them to keep the belief system that they had. Because they mess it up and then they go, see, I was right. There is no good men. The way you change isn't by changing the country you live in or changing the type of man or woman that you're going around. It's about changing yourself internally. And when you do that, it becomes a lot easier. Now, this is not a relationship seminar, but I thought I would let you guys know in on that so you guys can understand. So hopefully it helps some people. Thank you, Basil, as well, for the laughing. So what is imagination? Imagination, guys, represents the future. Imagination involves envisioning new possibilities and scenarios that have not yet occurred. It engages the brain in creative thinking and innovation. Make sense? Yes. Creating new neural pathways. Using imagination stimulates new neural circuits, which can lead to new thoughts and behaviors, creating personal transformation and growth. Now, if Joe Dispenza and these definitions are not enough, let's go to a guy who's a little bit smart, kind of, Albert Einstein. He's a little bit smart. I think he's got a good IQ. Look at what he says. He says, imagination is more important than knowledge. One of the most academically recognized individuals in the world, yes or no? Yes. He says, imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited to all we know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and on all there will ever be to know and understand. Can you innovate from what you already know? No. You can only innovate from imagination and creativity. So all the new technology that we have, all the new innovation that we have comes from somebody taking the risk of imagining a possibility, going through many failures until that possibility became a reality. Before Elon Musk made a rocket come back without it exploding, did anyone think that was possible? No. Do you know how much it cost to make those rockets and it was one-time use only? And then this guy finally came in and he made it in a way where he can land back on itself. That's imagination, it's not memory, because based on memory, you don't even try that. When it came to flying, who here has been on a plane before? Okay, did plane come with like Adam and Eve? Like Adam and Eve came and then there was a private jet next to them, like here you guys go? Is that how it happened? You know how you used to go to Miami before? You go on a boat and you don't come back because you die. Right? That's how it used to be. And then the Wright brothers decided to use their imagination. And they thought, what if we could fly in the sky like birds can? By the way, do you think their family supported them? No. Hey guys, we're gonna fly like the birds. Oh, that's a great idea. Can we help? Do you think that was the feedback? No. But do you think they let that stop them? No. Because God gave them the vision and imagination, not those other people. So today when we're goal setting, I want you to use your imagination, not your memory. Because if I was gonna use my memory, then at the age of 19, I wouldn't set a goal to make $1 million a year by the time I was 27. Because my memory was just filled with failure. My memory was filled with people telling me that I'm not good enough, that I'm not smart enough, that I'm not gonna make it because I don't have good grades in school. So how dare I imagine I could make $1 million a year if all these straight A students are gonna only make $200,000, $300,000 a year as doctors? I couldn't if I was using my memory, but I read a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I decided to believe everything he was writing. And I decided to imagine a future for myself where I can make $85,000, $100,000 a month by the time I'm 27. And you guys know the story. 1 month before my 27th birthday, I made $96,000.
Let's go.
Right? But let me tell you, if I didn't let my imagination go that far, I would never even be able to start on the path. See, the first step to achieving is envisioning. We're in a big building right here, yes or no? How did this building come to be? Somebody sat there and they imagined a building similar to this, yes or no? Yes. Then they went and met some architects, and with the help of those architects, they put it into plan. They said, how do we make this actually work? How can we plan? And the architects helped them game plan it, yes or no? Yes. So it started with an imagination, then it went on paper. After paper, it went into what? How can we execute on this now? So now we know what we want. We have a plan for it. Who do we need to help us? And then they went and built the team. The construction workers, the plumbers, the carpenters, the electricians, all the people that were required to make this building work, yes or no? Yes. And then they went to work. Do you think it was easy? Don't you think there was many problems that they came across? Don't you think there was a lot of issues that this building, if I'm not mistaken, is over 100 years old. Yeah. Technology wasn't as good as it is now. You don't think they had some problems building it? But they kept trial and error until the building became what it is today and we get to benefit from it. Yes or no?
Yes.
But it all starts with a vision and imagination first. Here's my question. What do you imagine for your future? Have you even imagined anything for your future? Yeah. Is there a future? Yeah. Because in a room like this, that's obvious. Yes, there is, because you guys are a part of this association. Out there, there's no future for most people. The reason so many people are struggling with mental health, one of the reasons I should say, is because there is no better future for them. All there is a negative past that they keep going back to feel the same negative emotions, which creates a negative moment in that present. See, the past doesn't exist, neither does the future. Would you agree? Yes. The only moment that is real is the moment that we're in right now. And every moment death happens and rebirth happens of a new moment. But what most people do is they bring their negative past into this moment and it helps them create the next negative event and next negative future. Because if you feel bad, you're gonna do bad. If you feel good, you do good. By the way, that's why winners win and losers lose. Because the loser keeps going back to the memories of losing and they feel like a loser, and as a loser, they make losing decisions that keeps creating new losing results. Winners keep going back to a winning past, get confident from it, get belief from it, they make new winning decisions and they win even bigger. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so I want you guys to fully understand memory and imagination, because if you understand the difference, you can, and you start operating from imagination, a better future, a hope for something more, depression goes away a lot quicker. Anxiety goes away a lot quicker. And trust me, I'm someone who went through a lot of depression and anxiety. And every time I found myself out of it, it was because I found a better future that I could start working towards. And instead of focusing on what I didn't have in the past or what I don't have in the moment, I focused on what I could have in the future. And that got me up every day. That got me after it every day until that future became a reality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let's talk about the benefits of goal setting really quick. And then I'm gonna go into how to go set goals, and I'm gonna talk about how to achieve goals. Here's the first benefit. It gives you direction and focus. If you don't know where you're going, you are going nowhere. Imagine if I came to, okay, let's not use me, let's use someone else. Let's say somebody came to your house, a good friend of yours, and they said, hey John, let's go. And you go, cool, where are we going? Don't worry about it, let's just go. How many of you would go? Okay, either you're very adventurous or you have nothing to do with your life. Either way, I hope you figure it out, okay? But if you're adventurous, that's good. There's nothing wrong with being adventurous. But guys, being adventurous is fun in the moment until like a bear comes or a tiger, and then the adventure runs out real quick. But my point is, many of you want to build a team and you want to be leaders. Do you know where you're going though? Because if you don't have a vision for your better future, if you're not imagining a better future, you're like that person who just goes in front of someone's house and goes, let's go. And they go, where? And you go, well, I don't know, we'll find out. But if you have a vision, that's when you can get into a leadership position, because then you go, here's where I'm going, here's what it's gonna look like, here's what it's gonna do for us. And then that person goes, yeah, I wanna come, or they say, no, I don't wanna come. What else does it do? It gives you motivation. Goals provide motivation by giving you something to strive for. How many of you feel unmotivated sometimes? You know what's the quickest way to feel motivated when you don't feel motivated? Think about what you're gonna have if you get up and get going. Remember, motivation comes after action, not before. Meaning, you'll never feel motivated to go to the gym. You only feel motivated once you go to the gym and the dopamine kicks in. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So if any of you wake up and go, I wish I get motivated today. No. You get motivated by doing the things that you're supposed to do, and then the dopamine comes in because you feel good about it. So if that's the case, how do we make ourselves do that thing if we don't have the motivation? Imagine what it's gonna do for you to do it. Or what it's gonna do for you if you don't do it. This is what we call pain and pleasure. I'm teaching you how to be self-motivated right now. You wake up tomorrow, you know you should go to the gym, you don't wanna go. Here's an easy way to get yourself to the gym. Either sit there and imagine, man, if I go to the gym, I'll be healthier, I'll look better, people will, give me a lot of props for that. That's one way to create a little bit of motivation to go. Here's another way. If I don't go to the gym, I might get cancer. I might get sick. I might die too early. I might not be able to live long enough to achieve my dreams or to be able to experience it. There was a time that I got so motivated by my business. I was so involved in it and I was so obsessed with it. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't eating healthy. Then one day I thought about it. I said, what if I make all the money, but I don't have enough health to actually enjoy it? Imagine I spend all the time to make all the money, and then instead of spending the money on doing the fun stuff, I spend the money on better medical care because I'm in the hospital all day. Was that worth it then? So then as soon as I was able to imagine the pain and the consequence of not making those right decisions, going to the gym became easy. And you know what's the weird part? Going to the gym for that 30 minutes, 40 minutes every day actually made me better in business. Here's another thing. It gives you a way to measure progress. Performance that is measured is performance that is improved. How do you know if you're getting closer to something if you don't know what if you don't know what you want to get closer to? You know why I set a goal to make $1 million a year by 27? Because I wanted to be the type of person that can make $1 million a year. It's not about the money for me. I said in the beginning. It was about becoming the type of person, the skill set, the mindset, the abilities, the confidence that $1 million a year person has. Because I'm someone who is very much driven by certainty and security. And I realized, money can go away real quick. Many of you are from Iran. What happened to our currency, guys? The value went up? No. The value went down like 40 times. Yes or no? So all of a sudden, the billionaire wasn't a billionaire anymore if they had Toman or Riyal, right? So that can happen. It can also happen to Canadian dollar. It can also happen to US dollar. It doesn't matter. Yes or no? Yeah. But if you were someone who was a self-made wealthy person in Iran that did it the right way, what's going to happen when you come to Canada? You're going to do it all over again. That was my dad. My dad was a self-made millionaire in Iran, and he did it all by himself, and he did it with a lot of hard work, and he brought that same mindset and work ethic to Canada in a whole new business, in a whole new country with a new language, and he did it all over again. Do you think that's a coincidence? No. So it's about who you become, not about what you get. It's not about being a billionaire, it's about becoming the type of person that can earn billions of dollars. And here's a little secret for you. The only way to earn billions is to give trillions in value. Do you understand? The only way to become a billionaire is to give trillions in value. It's actually about being a go-giver, not a go-getter. But in order to give, you need to know what area you're going to give from. Here's another one. It improves decision-making. How many of you have times where you're like, should I do this, should I not do it? How many of you? But different. It could be small decisions, it could be big decisions. Some of you had that tonight. Should I go to the session tonight? I mean, like, what is this thing going to be anyways? Who is this guy? What is this? Who cares? What is he going to tell me? Right? Why don't I just watch it on YouTube or something? Okay, no problem. I get it. It's normal to think that thought. When you're making that decision, where do you make it based on? If you have a goal, you can make it based on your goal. Yeah, if your goal is to be a great employee at Walmart, coming to the session is a waste of time. Totally. I'm not against that. Walmart is a great place. I need to go buy stuff. You need to help me. Okay? Right? I'm not against it. No, seriously. I don't mean that in a bad way. I liked it. Right? When I go to Starbucks, I need a barista there. If there's no barista there, I don't get my coffee. So I get it. Look, that's fine. And maybe that person is growing in a different area of life and it's not in that. Okay, that's totally fine. But if that's your objective, then maybe coming to the session isn't that valuable. But if your objective is to, let's say, make $1 million a year, to become financially free, to become a better businessman or businesswoman, to become a better leader, to become a better mom, a better dad, a better brother, a better sister, okay, then maybe coming to a session that teaches you those kind of skill sets would help you. Yes or no?
Yes.
By the way, can you give something that you don't have?
No.
So some of you go, man, I want to help people. Then you got to get more to give more. What if you come here and get a few good ideas that you can give to some of the people you love and care about? But you see, when you have goals, it's easy to make those decisions. When you don't, it's very difficult. So now let's talk about what keeps people from setting goals. Here's the first one: fear of failure and wanting to avoid disappointment. I hear this all the time. People going, I just don't want to get disappointed again. I just don't want to disappoint myself again. Hey man, why don't you try this new diet? I've tried all the diets. But like, what if we try this one for 3 months instead of 3 days? I don't want to. I don't want to disappoint myself. You know what I tell them? I go, let me ask you a question. What's more disappointing? Knowing that you'll always be out of shape and always be unhealthy, or giving it a shot and failing and going again? I don't know. Good question to ask. That's the question I asked myself. The question I asked myself was, would I be happier settling for being a loser and a failure, or would I be happier fighting my whole life to win? I had to ask that question for myself. You gotta ask whatever question you wanna ask for yourself. But a lot of people told me, you'll never make it, it's not for you, you're too young, you're too this, you're too that. And I said, okay, you might be right. But I think I'll be happier fighting for it for the rest of my life than believing what you're telling me and settling for being a loser. That's a decision that I made for myself. And then I fought, and I fought, and I fought. And voila, it ended up being that I was right. But even if I was wrong, even if I didn't make all the money that I've made and didn't have all the success that I would have, do you think that my journey has made me a better person? Yes. Do you think this journey has given me a level of faith and belief and a level of confidence in myself that I wouldn't have otherwise? Yes. Do you think this journey allowed me to help a lot of people along the way so far? Do you think this journey taught me a few things? So even if I didn't make $1 million a year and didn't have all those success, do you think I would have really been disappointed? No. Or would I have been disappointed settling for a life that someone else imagined for me and hating it forever? See, you all get to make a decision every single day. Either you choose to live a life where you imagine that there was a destiny pre-planned for you and you're only able to have this much, or you choose to live a life where you believe you can create your own destiny and live a life, whatever kind of life you want. Based on what makes you happier, you take that belief. And maybe some people are happier giving away that control. You know what? I'm just not meant for it, so I'll just give it away. But I think most of you are happier believing you're in control, wouldn't you? Yes. I think you're happier believing that you can control your destiny. Yes, yes or no? Yes. And here's my mentality. What's the worst case if you give it a shot and it doesn't work out? You just become a better version of you anyways. What's the worst case scenario if you never give it a shot anyways? You never get to see what your potential is all made of. You got to decide which one you want to be. But for me, it was very simple. And here's something that I want you guys to remember. Failure is a stepping stone to success, not a detour away from it. Failure is a stepping stone towards success, not a detour away from it. Okay? If you really want to overcome this fear, change your definition of what success and failure is. You know what success to me is? A successful person is not a rich person. A successful person is not a fit person. A successful person is not a happy person. A successful person is somebody who has a worthy goal that they're striving towards every single day of their life. That's what a successful person is to me. As soon as that became my definition, failing was no longer a problem. Here's the next problem. They don't want to set goals because they don't know how to achieve them. Okay, did the Wright brothers know how to make us fly in the sky when they first came up with that idea?
No.
This thing we call Wi-Fi, I still don't know how it works. If you do, good for you. Whoever came up with it, do you think they knew how it works before they came up with it?
No.
All the beautiful things that we have, does any of it make sense? No. Do you know, guys, there was a time that the greatest innovation was fire for like thousands of years. Like that's what, like we're like, we got fire. Like that's what we had over the bears. Now we have all this stuff. I have this virtual pen that doesn't even have ink on it and it draws when I do this. How does that make sense? That makes no sense, does it? There is no how-to for that before this existed. Somebody imagined it and then came up with the how-to. This is why they say it's not about how, it's about why. Now, nowadays, we got ChatGPT, Google, and all this information. The how-to is easy. In this business, the how-to is already totally solved for you. Not only do I have the how-to, but so do a lot of other people, and there's so much success to show it. Maybe if you were coming with a new business, there would be a lot more doubts and fear. But when you're a part of something like this and a part of a team like this, that there's so much success and winning, then why are you worried about the how to? We figured that out for you. You worry about the why so you can apply the how to. Here's the next one. They believe having goals will diminish or delay their happiness. These are the philosophical people. You know, I just feel like by having desire, I will not be able, oh my God, shut up, sorry. I don't even know what you just said. But it's a good way to escape the reality of wanting to have a goal. Let me read this to you guys. The only way this is true is if you believe you will be happy once you have what you want. The only way this is true is if you believe you'll be happy once you have what you want. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no amount of money that you'll make that will make you happier. There's a certain amount that will take financial stress away from you that will give you less reasons to be unhappy. That's for sure. Because by the way, financial stress kills happiness and creates depression like nothing else. Would you agree?
Yes.
That's your livelihood. So yes, there's a certain amount of money that you have in your savings, that you have in cash flow that will get rid of your financial stress. Once you go beyond that point though, no other amount of money will make you happier. So if you set your life up in a way where you go, I'll be happy once I have this much money. I'll be happy once I'm at this level. You're right. You are delaying your happiness, and maybe if that's the way you're gonna go about it, having no goals is better than having them. But if you can have the wisdom of realizing that happiness is in the moment, not in the future or the past, then you don't have to wait to be happy. You can be happy now. And here's the secret. If you're happy now, it's easier to achieve your goals. There's a difference between being dissatisfied with your current results and being unhappy. Totally different. Being dissatisfied means you want more in your life. Being happy is an emotion you get to experience if you want to. Remember, the goal is the destination, but the joy is in the process and journey. And by the way, let me tell you guys something. The goal is 5 seconds of happiness. You guys know I've won a lot and we keep winning as a team. I'm telling you, the winning part of it is a moment of celebration of happiness. If you know me personally, I don't really even celebrate my wins. I celebrate the journey on my way to the win. I don't need to throw a big party when I make $10 million a year because it's a party for me all the way up to it. That's a mindset. It's a way of being. Because I realized very early on in my life that you get the trophy and the celebration for 5 minutes, but you work maybe 20 years to get there. And it's a psychotic way to live, to go 20 years unhappy for 5 minutes of happiness. So I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go 20 years happy, celebrating every step of the journey, the failures, the wins, the tears, the blood, the sweat, the smiles, the little wins, the little losses. And then when I get there, I don't even need to celebrate anymore because the journey was the celebration. You know, when I get to the top, and every time I get there, and every time I go and I'm celebrating, you know what I think about? I'm so glad I spent the time to get here because it was so good. I'm glad I got to be a part of it with all these great people. When I go up there on Whistler or Vegas, I'm not thinking about, oh my God, I'm here. I knew I was going to be here because I was there already in my mind for years and for so many moments you can't even imagine. I gave my first Vegas speech 1 million times before you guys actually saw it. I just gave it in my imagination before you could see it in reality. Does that make sense? Yeah. So for me, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I was already there 1 million times all the way. Every night I was driving home from these meetings where I was sitting where you're sitting, I was imagining being in Vegas and talking on that stage. So I already experienced it. I already knew it was going to happen. For everyone else, it was a surprise. My parents were like, oh my God, he did it. I'm like, oh yeah, well, I told you. Seriously though. So for me, when I go up there, what I'm saying to myself is I'm so grateful that I had the wisdom to go after it and I got to do it with such amazing people like yourselves. So give yourself a round of applause. So here's the thing you need to learn. Reward yourself for taking the right actions to achieve your goals, not the results. Every time you make a decision that gets you closer to your goal, you should celebrate like you won the goal. Does that make sense? Yeah. So tonight, did you make a decision that's going to help you get to your goals faster? Yes. Have you taken the time to recognize that in yourself? Some of you had to pay for parking to be here. Some of you had to leave your kids with babysitters. Some of you had to pay some gas money that might have been tough to come across. Yes or no? Yes. Some of you had to leave your cute little pets at home and people that you love, and yes or no? Yes. Have you recognized how amazing it is that you made that decision? Because if you haven't, you should. And if you do, you don't need to wait to get there to be happy. You can be happy all the way to getting there. Here's number 4. And this is the stupidest one. The first three I can kind of like agree with. Here's the one that makes me throw up. I don't know what my passion or purpose is, so I can't formulate good goals. That's exactly how they talk. That's how I talk to when I did. I just don't know what my passion is. I'm like, hey, can you set a goal to like have more savings? I need to find a purpose first. Great BS to procrastinate your life and delay your life. And by the way, I'm sure the associations around you probably believe you because they have the same thing. You're right, we don't know our purpose. I'm gonna tell you your purpose right now. You can take it on or you don't have to, it's up to you. Here's your purpose as a human being: to grow, to reach your full potential, and in the process, help and give as much as you can to everyone around you to make their journey just as good. That's the purpose. The purpose is to grow every single day by facing your fears, by getting out of your comfort zone, to meet your best self, and in the process, give and contribute to as many other people around you so you can make their journey in this life a better one with you rather than without you. That's the point. The formula to happiness and fulfillment, guys, is very simple: growth and contribution. There is a lot of poor people that are way happier than billionaires, and there's a lot of billionaires that are way happier than poor people. The thing that they have in common is not the money, and it's not their wealth, it's that they're growing and contributing. Does that make sense? Yeah. It doesn't matter if you want to be a gardener. If every day when you go to garden your garden, you are looking to grow in a certain way and become better at your craft, and you're contributing to make that garden a more beautiful one, so when somebody walks by it, they can have a moment of happiness, a moment of smile by looking at the flower that you planted, you're winning in life. I'm not here because I'm passionate about finance. I'm not. Finance is great. I'm not passionate about it. I'm not here because I'm passionate about life insurance. I don't wake up every day and go, life insurance, amazing. This might disappoint some of you. I'm sorry, I'm not. Gotta protect them before they die. No, that's not it. You know what I'm passionate about? Getting up every day and looking for ways I can get out of my comfort zone, looking for ways I can grow, and looking for ways I can give back to others, whether that's through our financial services, whether that's through my mentorship, whether that's just through me giving a smile to someone that I walk by on the street. That's my objective. Thank you, sir. It's okay. You don't need to stop. But that's it. What you do is not your purpose. What you give is your purpose. Does that make sense? Yes. And again, you can only give what you have. So please, you want to mull over the first three, do it. Get rid of number 4. Your purpose is very simple. Grow and contribute. That's it. And you can grow and contribute no matter who you are or what situation you're in. So, how to set goals. For every long-term goal, you need a medium-term goal and a short-term goal. Okay? Here's what a long-term goal is. 7 years plus. Let's design some long-term goals for you. So what do you want to achieve in the next 7 to 10 years? Okay? Here's what you need. Be specific, measure it, make it relevant, make it time-bound. I'll give you an example of mine. My long-term goal when I was 19 was that I wanted to make $85,000 a month by the time I was 27, which would have been 8 years for me. Okay? That was my long-term goal. I came to this number by going over questions regarding what type of lifestyle I wanted to have. If you guys like, you can watch my video, 5 Steps to Design Your Life. It can give you the whole process of it. Now again, I'm not gonna put you in a pressure situation. You're gonna have to think about this potentially. But I want you to take the time to design a long-term goal for you. It could be financial, it could be health, it could be a relationship thing, but it's gotta be specific, it's gotta be measurable, it's gotta be relevant, and there has to be a time attachment to it. If you say, I wanna be happy, that's not a goal, because you can be happy right now. A goal is something specific. The reason financial is easy is because 1, it's relevant, yes or no. It's easy to measure, and it's something that you can easily put a time across. Now, you don't have to have a goal to be a millionaire. Your goal might be that, hey, if I make, for example, $30,000 a month, I can get a nice house for myself, have a couple nice cars potentially, and give an extra $5,000 a month to my parents so they don't have to have financial worry. Why not? Is that not a good goal? And then you make it a goal, in X amount of time, I want to make that much. Here's the beautiful thing about this, guys. You can change it at any time. Just because you set a goal doesn't mean you need to keep it. So if you realize that 300,000 is not enough, you can change it to 10 million later on. And if you realize that 300,000 is too much, you can change it to 200,000 later on. It's okay. But have something you're striving towards. Once you have the long-term goal, Then you want to come up with some medium-term goals that will make that long-term goal happen. So for example, if my goal was to make $1 million a year by 27, then my medium-term goal was to hit certain milestones in my business so I can get to that point by the time I'm 27. Yes or no? Your medium-term goal needs to be specific, measurable, relevant to your long-term goal, time-bound, and achievable. What is achievable? Something you can create a specific game plan for. The game plan doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be doable. For your long-term goals, you don't need any how-to. I'm gonna say that one more time. For your long-term goal, you don't need any how-to. All you need for your long-term goal is a why and a vision. That's it. The how-to will come to you. You actually have enough time to get the how-to. So for the long-term goal, it's just about vision and why. Why is it important for you to achieve it, and can you imagine it being a reality? When we get to medium-term and short-term goals, that's when game plans and specific things are required. So when you get to the medium-term goal, now you need to come up with a game plan. I truly believe there is no such thing as unrealistic goals. There is only such a thing as unrealistic game plans. Meaning, if you wanted to lose 50 pounds in the next 5 days, is it impossible? No. As long as you have a realistic goal to achieve it. But if you don't have a realistic goal to achieve it, then it is impossible. Vickers got food poisoning in Punta Cana. He lost 6 pounds in 2 days. That was, right? That could be your game plan. I'm joking. By the way, don't fighters, UFC fighters, boxers, don't they do like some, I forget what it's called, but, pardon? They do dehydration and all the water weight goes out of their body. Is that a good long-term solution? Is it gonna create more health? But it's a game plan. And then they go from 180 to 160 so they can meet their fighting weight in pretty much 24 hours. So here's the thing. Is that a good game plan for you? Not if you also wanna be healthy. If your only objective is to lose 20 pounds, and that's the only thing you care about, okay, it might be a good idea. But if you're losing 20 pounds so you can be a healthier person, then it's not a good idea. Do you understand? Yeah. So there's no such thing as unrealistic goals. There's only such thing as unrealistic game plans. And then you gotta have short-term. What are short-term goals? They're daily goals, weekly goals, and monthly goals. That's short-term. So guys, long-term, 7 years plus, medium-term, 2 to 5 years, short-term, daily, weekly, monthly. For daily, this is your game plan goal. What you need to do on a daily basis to achieve your medium-term and long-term goals. Everyone in our business has a daily game plan in the EOC section, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, the EOC game plans, whether it's walk, run, or sprint, is your day-to-day game plan to achieve different milestones in your business. If you have mentors like we do in our business, if you have people that have already done it, like you do in this business, the daily game plan is easy. The hard part is making sure you execute on it. So every day you wake up, here's the thing that you're thinking about. What do I gotta do today to get closer to my medium-term and long-term goals? And that's your only objective. Here's what I can tell you. If you win the day, you'll win the week. If you win the week, you can win the month. If you win the month, you can win the year. If you win the year, you can win the decade. But if you lose the days, you're gonna lose the week. Then if you lose the weeks, you're gonna lose the month. You lose the months, then you lose the year. Guys, it's December 2024. Hello? It's December 2024. It went by like this. Guys, I swear it was like yesterday where I was doing this training in December 2023. It's better now. Don't worry. But it went by like this, guys. This thing's not messing around. And we've been lucky enough to be here for another year. What if there was people that weren't able to be here? I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 20 years old or if you're 200 years old. If you are, by the way, respect. Call me, I want to know what you did. But it doesn't matter how old you are. You got another chance at this thing. Are you going to waste it? Because there's a lot of people that wanted to be here that aren't here anymore. We don't know where our time is coming. So what are you waiting for? If you don't take advantage of tomorrow, tomorrow's gone. I don't know how today was for you. What time is it right now? Right now it's 8:10. Okay? Pacific time. If you're in Eastern time, it's 11:10. My question for you is, did you win the day today? Don't need to answer. But if you won the day today, you're on the right track. If you lost, are you going to lose tomorrow? Every moment, you get a new chance. Every hour, you get a new chance. Every few hours, you get a new chance. Every day, you get a new chance. Are you taking it? For weekly and monthly goals, every week is a quarter and every month is a game. I'm going to say this one more time. Every week is a quarter and every month is a game. When you watch basketball, there's 4 quarters, yes or no? Once the 4 quarters are done, the game is done, yes or no? Okay. Every week is like a quarter that you have. If you lose the first week, can you still win the game? Yeah. If you lose the first quarter of a basketball game, you can still come back in the next 3 quarters, yes or no? If you lose the first 2 quarters, can you win the last 2? It's possible, it's a lot harder. If you lose the first 3 quarters, can you win the game in the last quarter? You can, but now it's gonna take a miracle. Now you're gonna need Michael Jordan without the flu, actually. Okay, he can't have the flu for that one. But you need to have some miracle level of performance to come back in the last quarter if you lose the first 3. If you lose the game, doesn't mean you lose the league. No, you could come back for the next game and win that one. But how many games can you lose before you lose the league? I can tell you in the Premier League, in soccer, the winning team can only lose maybe 5 or 6 games. If they lose more than that, they're not gonna win the league. It's not competitive. It's the same with life, guys. The reason I have that mini contest within the Miami contest is because I wanna make sure you're winning the first quarter, and second quarter, and third quarter of this month. Because it's very easy to lose the first couple because you get complacent and then you start chasing for the last couple. Every day is a play. You can miss 3 plays and still win the quarter, but you can't miss 5. That means in a week, you might lose a day. You lose a play. Okay, no problem. You got 6 more plays in that week. But if you lose 5 plays, how the hell are you gonna win the quarter? The reason I achieved what I achieved in record time, right? I'm the youngest $1 million earner in the company. That's been around since 1990. Youngest EVC. We're about to be the youngest SCVC and the youngest $2 million earner team too. Here's the reason. I'm not smarter than anyone else. I don't even think I'm harder working than anyone else. I think there's a lot of people that have amazing work ethic, trust me. What I did was I got real intentional and real serious and real urgent about every hour, every few hours, and every day. That's why. Does that make sense? Yeah. I didn't just say, it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow. In my mind, I was like, if I don't do it today, I'm gonna lose tomorrow too. That was my mentality. But most people go, this week, I don't feel like it. Next week. A week for me is a whole quarter. I'm not gonna give away my quarter because my competition might not give it away. Do you understand? And we're in a competitive world, guys. Everyone wants what you want. We all wanna have beautiful relationships. We all wanna have financial freedom. We all wanna get recognition. We all wanna, be looked at as a mentor, as a teacher, as a leader. Okay. Who's gonna get it? We can't all get it. The ones that are gonna get are the ones that are gonna win. Everyone wants to win the Stanley Cup. Everyone wants to win the NBA Cup. Everyone wants to win the Premier League, the Champions League, the World Cup. Everyone wants it. The team that wins it is the team that wins every play and then every game until they eventually get the trophy. So if you have a mindset where you go, it's fine, it's just one, you won't win. You look at winning teams in any competition, they had to come back to win. They had to come back from losing situations. Do you know why they came back? Because they realized that if they don't come back, they don't get a chance again. But if in your mind you keep thinking you have 100 years to make things happen, you'll never make those decisions like the way that I did. Urgency is everything, and the only way you can have urgency is to think like this. And this is generally the way I think. I measure my life in like this. You can lose 2 quarters and still win the game, but if you lose 3, it becomes extremely difficult, right? You lose 6 months plus, and your annual goal is going to be extremely difficult to achieve. You lose 9 months, and it's almost impossible. So here's how you achieve your goals. Define who you need to become to have what you want. Who do you need to be to get what you want? Let's say you want to make $1 million a year. Who do you need to become? Nima, what are you talking about? Great question. Success is not something you pursue. What you pursued will elude you. It can be like trying to chase butterflies. Success is something you attract by the person you become. The first few times I read this quote, I didn't get it. I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking? Who chases butterflies? What the fuck? What is this guy? What kind of drugs was he taking? But then as I went through the journey and I had some experiences and I kept coming across this quote, I started to get it. Success is not something you get, it's something you attract. The way you attract it is by becoming an attractive person. Not physically, in terms of the energy you give out to the world. The confidence, the belief, the aura that you give to the world. That's what attracts success to you. So here's the question. Who do you need to become? Forget about the game plan, forget about the how. Let's talk about who you need to become to have it. Here's the first thing you need to ask yourself. What kind of habits do you need to have? What kind of habits do you need to have in order to become the person you want to become? Do you need to be someone who can follow a certain game plan consistently? Or can you be someone who does it sometimes and doesn't do it other times? Write this stuff down, guys. This is not a philosophy class. This is an action-taking class. This is not a podcast. I'm right in front of you. Hi. Right? We're here to take action and apply. Trust me. Because look, I'm not here because I want to impress you with my knowledge. I'm here because I want you to take this information and do something with it so you can impress yourself and your life with it. So what kind of habits? Do you maybe need to stop hitting the snooze button? Could that be part of the habits you need to develop? Do you need to maybe have a better morning routine? Do you need to have a better night routine potentially? Do you need to follow one of the ELC game plans no matter how busy you are and how hard it is and make it happen no matter what? Do you need to use your time productively or keep wasting it? Let me ask you a question. You want to make $1 million a year in record time. Hopefully a lot of you young guys and girls want to break my record. Please do. Okay, that's what records are for. It's for you to break them. Here's my question. Can you keep scrolling through Instagram for 3 hours a day and break it? Right? Even my reels, if it keeps you from being active and doing what you need to do, don't watch them. The reel is supposed to be watched for 30 seconds, put away, and go take action taken on it. But the scrolling thing that we do, guys, on these apps, it's killing your dreams. It's not helping you. I had a friend who spent all his time on TikTok. I'm like, what are you doing on TikTok? He's like, I'm learning about stocks. I'm like, bro, you don't have money for stocks. What's the point of learning about it if you can't invest in it? Go make money, then you can buy the stock with it. But I'm serious. Can you smoke things throughout the day like teenagers and become a freaking millionaire? Oh, but Snoop Dogg does it. Yeah, you're not a rapper. Go rap and you can be like Snoop Dogg and Lil Wayne. Smoke whatever you want. Okay, that's fine. But we're not in the rapping industry. We're not there. This is the financial industry. Does that make sense? In the business world, Snoop Dogg isn't a businessman, he's an artist. There's a difference between a businessman and an artist, okay? Artists, they want to do whatever they want, none of my business. I'm not an artist, I don't know what they do. But guys, get serious about this stuff. This is your life that you're playing with, nothing else. Time's going by like this. Stop running away from your problems and start solving them. That's how entrepreneurs make money, by solving problems. You know what's the number one problem we all need to solve? Us. People always ask me, Nima, what was the hardest thing for you? What was your biggest challenge? Dude, my biggest challenge to this day is only one thing, me. I'm my biggest challenge. I'm my number one dilemma that I need to come up with every single day. I'm the most important puzzle that needs to get solved every single day. Does that make sense? Me. Once I'm taken care of, I'm good to go. I used to be one of these people that came late to everything. And I thought, it's okay, because there's this bullshit and this bullshit and this excuse and this excuse. And then one day I looked at it and I'm like, oh wait, hold on, my life is bullshit. Wait a minute. Maybe this is one of the reasons that that's happening. So then I start to come up with solutions to be on time. And it wasn't easy because I was a late person. I had that identity and I had that behavior and I had that habit. But I realized that if I'm a late person, I can't achieve big things. So then I made a change. We all got them and I still have a few today. Maybe I shouldn't have said bullshit. I just said it again. Oops. Maybe we work on this. But I'm just making a point, guys. What are the things that you need to change in order to have what you want? That's the real puzzle. Here's the next thing. What kind of skills do you need to learn? Do you need to learn sales potentially? Do you need to learn leadership? Look, if what you want to do can happen just by you or yourself, then you don't need leadership. But let me tell you, even if you're a 100-meter sprinter in the Olympics, you need to have leadership because you got a team. You got a team of coaches, you got a team of doctors, yes or no? You got a team of fellow sprinters that are making you better every day on the track. If you want to go far in this life, you can only go with others. We're social creatures. You can't do anything by yourself. I'm an independent, strong person. Okay, well, independently, you're not going to go anywhere. But with the team, you can go really far real quick. Seriously. And every independent person has a lot of people that they depended on that they ignore. Communication skills. Do you need to learn to communicate in order to achieve what you want? In some things you do, in some things you don't. In this, you definitely do. And communication is not charisma. Communication is being able to help someone understand what you've understood. Do you need to learn to use your emotions instead of being used by them? You can't control emotions, it's like the weather. But are you okay letting your emotions control you, or do you want to control it? Because look, I can get angry and go to the gym, or I can get angry and punch someone in the face. They're gonna give me different results. Punching someone in the face gets me in prison, and going to the gym gets me healthy. Both of them can come from motivation of anger. Yes or no? Yes. I can get sad and cry and feel like a victim. I can get sad and cry and become a hero. Same emotion, two different outcomes. The victim sits there and feels sorry, waiting for a magician to come and save them. The hero gets up, wipes up their tears, and goes and saves other people instead. You choose. You can have joy and go to a club and do a bunch of drugs, or you can have joy and go to a meeting and make a lot of other people joyful. Your choice. But do you want to be controlled by your emotions, or do you want to use them? Because there's two different things. They're going to be there either way. That's a skill set. What kind of character should you have? Keeping promises you make to yourself and others. Is that a character that is important with a $1 million earner, a leader, a business person? If I told you guys, hey guys, we're going to have a session today. Everyone be here at 6:30 and I showed up at 7:30. How would you feel? How would you feel? Disappointed, lack of trust. Who the hell does this kid think he is making me wait for this long? Yes or no? Yes. You probably wouldn't come back next week, would you? You have a right not to, because I offended you and I disrespected your time. But I came here at 6:05. Why? Because I respect you enough where I want to come and be prepared so you get a good session, so you walk away here with some value. What kind of mindset should you have? Should you feel abundant or scarcity?
Abundant.
You know what abundance means? It's your ability to give without fear of losing. Number one thing that I see missing in people that will always stay small even though they play big. What? Yeah, there's a lot of people that play big. They work long hours, they do a lot of stuff, but they're always going to be small. I can't tell this person this, because if I tell them this, they're going to go use it and beat me. You're a small player. You're not good enough. You read a book called The Go-Giver and change your life. I know people who go ask other people for advice and they take the advice and use it and they feel good. And when people come to ask for them for advice, no, it's good. And they think they're clever. They watch these movies called The Wolf of Wall Street and they think being a wolf makes you a winner. No, being a wolf gets you in prison. Right? That's what happened to the Wolf of Wall Street. He went to prison, rightfully so. Being a wolf doesn't get you success. Being successful means being a person who gives to others. And you know what I found? The more I give, the more God gives me. Because God goes, wow, look at this vessel. The more I give it, the more it gives to other people. Let me give it more. The more knowledge I share with others, the more creativity comes to me to have more knowledge. That's why I let so many SMDs that are not in our hierarchy and so many other leaders come to our sessions. I do this stuff live. I pay so much money to have the social media stuff. I don't make any money from it. Why? Because I know the more I give, the more abundantly I feel. The more abundantly I feel, the more I have to give. What kind of feelings should you feel on a regular basis? The way you feel affects the way you think. The way you think affects the way you behave. That's why when you feel good, you do good. When you feel bad, you don't do so well. Should you feel gratitude?
Yes.
Should you feel desire, joy, peace?
Yes.
Okay. So these are the things that you need to solve for yourself. Who do you need to become to achieve what you want? When you solve this equation, the other stuff gets really easy. Change your associations. You want to change your life quick? Who here wants to change their life quick? Okay, get rid of some of your friends. That's it. It's really that quick. Oh, all the hands went down real quick.
You all gotta go.
No, that's it. No, I'm telling you, honestly, look, remember this for the rest of your life. Your willpower will never outdo your environment. I don't care how strong of a person you are and how much willpower you have. If you hang around a bunch of negative people, you'll be the next one. Yes. You hang around with a bunch of stupid people, and I don't mean in terms of IQ, I mean in terms of decision making, you'll be the next one. You hang around a lot of unhealthy people, you'll be the next one. And vice versa. So here's my question. You want a lot of things. How many people around you want the same thing or already have it? If the answer is not many, you got to get rid of them now. Look, for me, it was a very simple equation. Either you're coming with me or I'm going to leave so I can inspire you to come with me later. Because I realized very quickly, and I realized this from a lot of lifeguards, the easiest way to drown is to try to save someone that's drowning. Did you know that? Do you know most lifeguards have to knock out someone before they can save them? Khaled, am I right? Yes. When you're saving someone, because the person's panicking, and in their panic, they can drown you with them. Yes. Is that clear? So the fastest way to drown, if that's a game plan you were looking for, I'm going to give it to you right now. Go try to save someone that's drowning. You go, well, how do we save them? Become a lifeguard, so you have the resources to save them, or throw a lifeline for them. It's the same with life. You want to become a failure, go and try to make a lot of people successful who don't want to be successful. So you go, how do I help them? Become successful so they can go, holy crap, this guy did it? And then go, here's how you guys can do it too. And if they want to grab on the lifeline, they come with you. If not, then you meet a lot of new friends. You know what was one of my biggest strengths coming into business? I had very few friends. That was my biggest strength. You go, wait, I thought we're in a networking type of business. How did you do it without network? Because I didn't have anyone holding me back. Does that make sense? Some people come here and they're popular kids from high school and they're dragging a bunch of people with them. I came here and I wasn't dragging anyone with me. So here's my thing with you. You really love the people around you when? You really love the people around you when? Because your winning will give them a chance to also win. Because nothing will inspire your family more than you winning. Because no matter how much you tell them about me, they go, oh, that guy's different. But you're not different. You're their son. You're their daughter. You're their friend. You're their dad. You're their mom. Yes or no? You're not there. You're a part of them. You came from where they came from. You went through what they went through. So you want to help them when? That's what I realized. A lot of people thought I was selfish when I got started on this path. By the way, we're going to go a little bit late today. I apologize for that, but it's important. But a lot of people, when I first got on this path of success, thought I was selfish. Man, this guy doesn't come to parties with us. This guy doesn't, hang out with us like he used to. This guy's not spending as much time with us. Oh, you really love your family? Then why don't you go and hang out with them? Totally got it. You know what I said to them? I said, look, the way you think I'm selfish, I'm the most selfless person you know. Because the reason I'm doing this isn't just because I want to win. It's because I know it's the only way I can inspire other people to win in my life. So I worked really hard. And every day that I worked hard, you know what I said to myself? I better win because I don't want to teach my little sister or my older sister or the people around me that hard work doesn't pay off. So if they see me wake up early and go back too late and getting after this, I better win. So they go, man, hard work pays off. Because that's what my dad did for me. Every day my dad would wake up, he would go and work his butt off and give it everything he had. And he would come back and do it again all the next day. And he went through a lot of failure. He went through a lot of L's. But then he kept going. And then, boom, success came. Then success came. Then success. And you know what he taught a little boy in me? Shit, hard work pays off. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times you lose. You just keep going until you win. Do you know how important that lesson was for me and everything that I did in my life? Do you think my dad could have done that for me if he gave up? You think he could have done that for me by being negative and sitting at home and being a victim? The privilege that I had wasn't coming from a rich family because my dad had money. Because in this kind of business, money doesn't do anything for you. The privilege that I had coming from a rich family is watching my dad get rich. So I can get a good playbook on how to do it. Now, if you don't come from that kind of background, watch me, watch the other mentors, and watch what we do and how we do it. I'm teaching you everything that I never learned. But I'm telling you, the most selfless thing to do is to go after what you want with everything you have. Because as soon as you can achieve it, you know what you do? You give the greatest gift to humanity, which is inspiration. It doesn't matter whether you're a fan of Trump or you hate his guts. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you this though. There's a part of every person, even the person that hates that guy to the freaking bone, that is inspired by his journey. Because they go, damn, this guy said he was going to do it and he did it. There's literally a video from 2011, where there's a ceremony happening and Obama and all these guys are talking and they're making fun of Trump like crazy. You're never going to be president, and just going at him over and over again. And this guy sat there and you could tell he's pissed because his ego was getting hit over and over. And that guy is a guy who has an ego, and that ego was getting crushed. But guess what he did? 5 years later, your new president of the United States, Donald Trump, 2016. Oh shit. He just did what he said he was going to do. And everyone made fun of him. So even if you hate that guy, there's a part of you that goes, that's kind of inspiring. You see that guy, like everyone tried to make him not win. They shoot him and he still keeps going and he still keeps going. He gets up and goes, America, da, da, da. Like what the hell? Dude, if I get shot, I'm staying at home for the next 3 years. I'm not coming out. This guy came out the next day and did another rally. I don't care if you hate his guts. You got to have a little bit of like inspiration where you go, dude, this guy's kind of brave. Not gonna lie, he's kind of brave. He just kind of got up again and did it again and he could get assassinated at any time. They tried to assassinate him 2 times. And he kept going back. Most people, you try to assassinate them 1 time, they go to Mars. They go faster than Elon Musk. They go work for Elon Musk so they can go to Mars. Like, yo, get me out of here. So I'm just saying, it doesn't matter how much you hate the guy or how much you're against his politics. That's okay. That's your opinion. I'm not against it. You got to be inspired, though, by what the guy did. Because it's a little bit inspiring. Yes or no?
Yes.
Even when you watch a sport team that you hate beat your favorite team, you're a little bit inspired, aren't you? You're a Ronaldo fan, and you watch Messi win this many times, like, damn, okay, I gotta give it to him. He's pretty freaking good. He just won the World Cup. You're a Messi fan, and you watch Ronaldo come back and win another Ballon d'Or. You're like, damn, I gotta give it to this guy. He kind of killed it. He kind of crushed it. Okay, there's a little bit of inspiration. That's the greatest gift you can give to humanity, whether it's to your enemies or to your supporters. Here's the next one. Be a great coach to yourself. EPR yourself all the time. Here's the #1 factor to being a winner. look for reasons why you deserve to win. The number one factor to people that don't win is they constantly look for reasons why they're not good enough. I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too stupid, I'm too smart, I'm this, I'm that, I'm too introverted, I'm too extroverted, all of it. Here's the commonality in successful people. They turn all the negatives into positives. So they said I'm too young. I'm like, perfect, I have more time to win then. If I was too old and they said you're too old, I'd be like, perfect, I have more experience then. I reframe. Life is all about framing. If you frame things for your benefit, life goes on your side. You frame things to go against you, life goes against you. Are you okay so far?
Yes.
Okay, here's the next one. The most important thing to win the day, to win the week, to win the month, to win the quarter is to operate in the best states of mind. Here is the best states of mind for success, guys. High level of desire, high level of belief and faith, high level of enthusiasm, and high level of focus. If you can be 10 out of 10 in all those categories, you can achieve anything you want in your life. So the question is, how do I get in a high state of desire, enthusiasm, belief, faith, and focus? You have to learn to change your state. And there's 4 ways you change your state. How many of you have felt bad in a day and you ended up letting you have a bad day? How many of you? My English didn't make sense there, but you got what I was saying. I just kind of said a bunch of stuff. I've been talking for a long time. Just let it go. I'm ESL, okay? Still. But honestly, how many of you have woken up, you felt bad, whether it was physical illness, whether it was mental, and you had a bad day because of it? Okay, what if I could give you a magic pill that could make you feel the best you've ever felt? Would you take it? Yes. Okay, I don't have that pill. This is not the movie Limitless. But I have a method for you to do that. Is that okay? Yes. There's 4 ways you can change your state. And if you learn to change your state, you can change your life. Those are words from Tony Robbins himself. And they pay Tony Robbins $1 million per 8-hour session for him to do personal coaching with you. So I think he knows what he's talking about. So I'm like, what kind of an idiot will pay someone $1 million for 8 hours of coaching? An idiot that has $1 million, so I don't know. Kind of your boss, maybe, if you work at a company. Isn't it interesting that the most successful people pay the most money for coaching? Yeah. And the least successful people make fun of the people who pay for coaching? There's a commonality there. But here are the 4 musts to change your state. Here's the first one. Be a great coach to yourself. Continuously motivate and guide yourself towards your goal. If you keep telling yourself the right things, you will eventually do the right things. Here's the next one. In order to change your state, there's a 3-method formula. You got to change your physiology, which is the way you use your body, your posture, your breathing, and your movement. There's a very clear difference in how a depressed person and an excited person look. Am I depressed or excited right now? Okay, very clear. Yes or no? Clear body language, you all recognize it. Okay. Am I excited and high belief and a little egotistical? Yes, there you go. Okay. All 3 are true. All right. So you see that? The way you change your body immediately changes your state and you can recognize it. You can tell when somebody's sad and when somebody's happy. How do you tell? Their body language. Very quickly. Yes or no? Okay. Here's the next one. Change your focus. What you focus on determines how you feel. If you focus on what's wrong, you'll feel negative. If you focus on what's good or what you can control, you'll feel more positive. Right? If you focus on what you have, gratitude is easy. If you focus on what you're missing, depression is easy. Easy formula for life, hey? Here's the 3rd thing. Language and meaning. The words you use to describe your experience shape you. Shape how you feel, The language you use internally, your self-talk or internally spoken word. Let me teach you guys something. Negative people exaggerate the negatives all the time. I got destroyed today. Because at Starbucks, they didn't have cream. Oh, whoa. Yeah, I think I got lucky. I made $1 million. Just lucky. They exaggerate the negatives and downplay the positives. Positive people are the exact opposite. They exaggerate the positives, downplay the negatives. I woke up today. Let's go. That's Sina. Sina's like, I breathed again. Yeah. Okay. Exaggerates the positives. That's why he's excited. That's why he gets good results, right? Yeah. Negative people. My mentor's calling me again, and I got. What do they want? They want to help me? No one can help me. Very clear. Very clear. So you wake up tomorrow You might have a lot of anxiety. You might feel depressed. Very, very, very normal. Yes or no? Here's what you can choose to do. You wake up. You can choose to go to the bathroom like this to wash your face. Or you can wake up and go, oh, I'm going to make it a great day. Come on, I'm going to make it a great day. You do some jumping jacks. You go on, put the water in your face. Right? Okay, that's physiology though. Right? You can get out of bed and you can like jump out of bed, or you can like, okay, physiology. Then what do? Then you got to change your focus. Instead of going, oh, I feel so depressed again. You go, I'm alive again. Let's go. I woke up. Okay. You change your focus. It's very quick, hey? And then you change the language. I just changed the language for you, yes or no? The first language was what? Oh, I feel depressed again. The other language was, I'm alive again. Okay. You see the difference there? Yes. Physiology, focus, language. Guys, this is how you get control of your state. As soon as you get control of your state, you get control of your life. I'm telling you, if there's one thing you learn from this session, let it be this. The next time you feel bad, test this out. Change your physiology. Stand different, sit different, breathe different, get up and jump around, do some jumping jacks, doesn't matter. You know what I'll tell you to do? You want to do this quick? Put on some exciting music, some Latino music or something.
Let's go.
Just, right? Get after it. And then change your focus. Be conscious about what you're focusing on. I bet you're focusing on something negative. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling so much in this. Change the focus, right? Some of you have a lot of financial stress. Every time you open up your bank account, it reminds you of it. Here's one thing, you go, oh my God, I have no money, is one focus. Oh my God, I'm in an opportunity where I can make money anytime, is another focus. Two different focuses. One focus is, man, I'm in a lot of debt. This sucks. I'm a loser. The other thing is, man, I got a lot of debt, but I'm in Canada. In another country, they will throw me in jail for having debt. Right? Guys, there are certain countries, you have debt, you go to jail. I'm not going to name the country, I don't want to offend some people, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Right? There is no such as credit card debt in some places. There's jail. So that's something, oh, I got so much credit card debt. You're not in jail. Shit. You could go bankrupt anytime and don't let you do it. That's the weird part. That's the weirdest part about this country, guys. You can go into a hell of debt and don't just let you go bankrupt. You can literally just go, I want to restart the game. And they say, okay, fine. It's literally, you live in a video game in Canada. Anywhere else, you go to starvation and die. In another country, you're broke, starve to death. In this country, you're broke. Hey, can I just restart? Okay, just go bankrupt. All right, restart. Something to be grateful for, I think, no? Yeah. Here's the next one, guys. You want to change your state, write your goals down every morning, and then visualize it with music. I don't have it prepared today, and I've already gone too long, so I don't want to keep you guys any longer. But we did it last time. You put the Hall of Fame music on, and you all visualize your goals for a moment. Yes or no? Yes. The reason you want to do it with motivating music is because music does a beautiful thing, which brings up your emotions. How many of you have gone through a breakup, and you keep listening to those breakup songs and cry? Kind of weird, eh? You're like, I just want to be happy again, but let me listen to Celine Dion. Well, like shit, like maybe put on some Latino music and dance. I don't know. But anyways, it's fine. But the music brings out the emotion. So some people go, I have a hard time visualizing and getting motivated by my vision. Try listening to motivating music while you do it. It happens real quick. And here's the last advice I have for you. Do the Tony Robbins priming meditation. Guys, Story a year ago, and I'm going to finish with this. Story a year ago, her business was not where she wanted to be. Okay? She went from MVP MD, killing it, to having a lot of the people she was competing with beating her to certain milestones. She was upset by the lack of results she was getting. One of the main habits that she changed, and I saw her doing every day, was she was doing priming by Tony Robbins every morning. Her gratitude went to another level, her enthusiasm went to another level, and lo and behold, when you feel good, boom, results went crazy. Yes or no?
Yes.
I think this month you made 40,000 or something, yes? There you go, give her a round of applause. Here's the last message I'm gonna leave you guys with, and then we're done. Guys, one of the main reasons I got to where I got to at a young age, coming from a certain background that many people didn't believe in me, was because I had a common sense type of mentality where I said, if I do what everyone else does, I'll get what everyone else gets. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I realized the only way I'm gonna get unique results is by doing unique things. So one of the main things that I would do all my life is I would go, here's what 99% of people are doing. I'm gonna do what the 1% does. So Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, all the young people will go where? clubs, get drunk, party. And I will go, that's where the 99% are. What if I stay home and listen to an audiobook? What if I go for a coffee with a good friend of mine who's doing something with his life? What if I go read a book? So I will do something different. A lot of young people go, in your 20s, you gotta go party, have fun, live life, experience. And then in your 30s and 40s, then you can get real serious. I'm like, okay, that's 99% of people. I'm gonna spend my 20s getting right after it, grinding like crazy. Because the younger you are, the easier it is to change and learn new things many times. Yes or no? Yeah. I'm gonna take advantage of that. The more energy you have, I'm gonna take advantage of that. Well, when I'm 20, I don't have kids. I'm gonna take advantage of that. Okay, and then in my 30s, 40s, 50s, when my fellow 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds are grinding, I'm gonna be enjoying. That's 99% versus, you see all those decisions, and they were tough decisions. Because you know why it's hard to do that when you're 20? Because all your 20-something friends tell you it's a stupid idea. That's why it's hard.